Okay, so let's talk about docker ignore and build context. So if you're someone who knows how does git works properly, you might be aware of git ignore. So how does git ignore works? So basically, if you add anything, any file, any folder in git ignore, okay, it will be not added into commit, it won't be pushed to your github repository. Same goes with docker ignore. Whatever files you add, it won't be added into the build layer, right? So that is the basic uses of docker ignore. Now what is build context? So from the starting itself, we have been using this command docker build -t, then followed by the tag name, we add a dot, and as I mentioned earlier, dot represent the current working directory, and that is nothing but the build context. If you go with the official definition, what is build context? So basically, build context is the set of files that Docker sends to the Docker daemon for building an image. It's everything in the directory where you run docker build command, right? So how does this work? So when you run docker build -t my app dot, the dot at the end specifies that the current working directory as the build context, and it will share all the files with Docker daemon, right? So what will happen? It will package all the files in the current working directory and subdirectories, and it will send it to Docker daemon, and then this will be used to build the Docker file, the Docker image from the Dockerfile, right? So how does build context matter? Why? Because due to that context, it takes time to build the image. So larger the context, lower the build, and more network traffic will be there. There will be unnecessary files that will be playing around in the picture if we don't set the build context, if we don't correct the build context. And that's the reason docker ignore and build context play at the same level. If you add unnecessary files which are not even needed during the build time in the docker ignore, it will fasten your build time, and that's the reason both goes parallelly along together. So what is docker ignore file? So it is a file that works just like git ignore, but for Docker builds. It tells Docker which files and directory to exclude for the build. Okay, and let's take an example that it will give you a complete clarity how does docker ignore works and how does the build context work. So we are going to create a basic node application, and again, we don't have to worry about coding right now, because here we are present to learn about build context and docker ignore. So search for geeks for geeks, and here we would be referring this site. I will be adding this into the comment, or I will add it into the GitHub repository. Here you can refer this documentation for today's demonstration. So what we are going to do, basically, we are going to create an application with npm init, and we are going to install the module. So basically, this would be just a basic application that we would be hosting. It would be printing a message over the console into the web browser. So let's get started. So let us follow the documentation, and whatever it says, let us do it. So we are going to create a directory name my node app, then we are inside the node application, and then we are running the command npm init -y. So what actually it is doing, it is actually creating all the necessary files which are actually needed to initialize the node based application. And when I do ls-ll, you can see we have package.json. If I just read this package.json, you can see we have a very basic node application present over here with no test cases, right? If I clear everything, let's move forward, and here we are going to install the modules that are required for this specific application. This would be a very simple demonstration. We are going to pick up very small application so that it will give us the idea how does things are working, right? So we will install fs, file system, for handling the file operation, and path for working with the file operations. All right, done. So npm install fs, and we are going to install npm install path. We can just run it in a single one, and it is done. If I just run a cat on package.json this time, you can see it added more packages here. Let me clear the screen, and there is one more file which is present right now, that is package log.json. If I do a cat over here, okay, if I do a cat on package log.json, you can see everything is present over here. Don't need to worry about that, because we are not concerned right now on what is inside package log.json and what's inside package.json. Okay, now let me move forward, and here we are going to create one file named index.js. Okay, vim index.js, copy this file entirely, paste it and save it by pressing escape:wq. And I know you all are very much aware of how to use vim editor or vi editor, right? And final thing, we are going to create a message text file to print the message. So vim message.txt, and here this is the message that we are going to print, escape:wq. All right, and here in order to run that application we need to run the command node index.js. So how cool is that? So let's run node index.js, enter, and here we are getting one error. So what's exactly it is giving us a warning to load ES module type set. And if you scroll down here, we are getting a syntax error, and it says that cannot use import statement outside a module. All right, so here what we need to do, we are going to clear the screen first. We want to see the error message again, list all the files, and here we need to update something. So if I go to the package.json, let me check the package.json over here, package.json. Here we are dealing with modules, so let me just check it, and cat index.js. Okay, so I just did a small search. I made use of ChatGPT and find out that we need to make change in package.json file. So vim package.json, and here just below the license we need to add one more line, and here we need to define the type. So here the type would be module, comma escape:wq. Now clear the screen and rerun the node command once again, node index.js, and here it says that the application is running on port number 3000. I will go on my web browser, I will open localhost, and I will pass the port number 3000, and here it says hello, this is a Node.js application without express. Okay, so the application is working fine. Now let's start with the main part, that is, let us dockerize this application. So for that we will create a docker file. So Dockerfile over here. Now since we are working with a node based application, we are going to make use of a base image, and that would be a node image. So node 18, this is the image that I would be using. Next thing that we will be doing is we will be defining the working directory over here. So for that I will write WORKDIR. So if you don't define this WORKDIR keyword, it will consider slash by default, and that will create some permission issue. So better define the working directory for your application. Next, now what we are going to do is we are going to copy all the files which are present in the current context inside the container. So copy from the current context, and if you write, even if you write /app, or even if you add dot, it will be one and the same. That won't create any difference. Now the next thing that we would be doing is we are going to run npm install to install all the dependencies with the help of package.json, and finally we are going to expose the application, expose, and this app works on port number 3000, and finally we are going to run the cmd command, and what's it, it's node index.js. so node comma space index.js escape:wq. Now let us build the docker image out of this docker file. If I do a cat over here, you will find the entire docker file. So what we did, we took a base image of node 18, then we defined the working directory, we copied all the files to /app, then we executed npm install, we exposed port 3000, and then finally we executed the command node index.js. so docker build dot. So what exactly is happening, we provided the current build context, meaning it passed all the file into the it passed all the file from my current local working directory to the docker daemon, and then from there it is going to the container, right? So this is how things are working over here. And if you can see over here, it's saying load build context, right? But the thing is, the transfer context size is 63.75 KB. But let's say if there are multiple files which are present in my current working directory, that will create an issue because these do have a capacity. That's the reason we are making use of dockerignore. Now if I do ls, you can see these are the files which are currently present, but out of these there is node_modules which is of no use for us, because even if you delete it, it won't create an issue, because at the end, if you remember, in the Dockerfile itself we are running npm install, and what is the job of npm install? To install all the dependency based out of the package.json file, right? So this is something which is unnecessary, so this is something that we can eliminate. So for that we will write vim.dockerignore, and here I will mention the folders and subdirectory. But if you want to get a pre-written template based out of your project type, you can again go to web browser and search for generate dockerignore file, and based on your project type you can actually generate your dockerignore file. So if you go over here, here you have already Node.js selected, you can actually copy it and paste it into your .dockerignore file. How simple is it? If I do a cat on .dockerignore, what it will do, it will remove the unnecessary file which are not even of any use to us, because these are something which are getting generated automatically inside the container. So if I do a cat, all the log files, all the node_module folders are been getting ignored by default, right? Here you can also ignore .git folder, because this is of no use for us, right? If I scroll upwards, you can see here it ignored all the .env, because secrets are sensitive. These are something that we should not even pass even in the build context. So that's the thing that is provided by .dockerignore and build context. Now this time if I clear the screen and when I do ls, if I remove the node modules folder which is of no use to us, if I do clear over here and if I rebuild the image, so docker build dot, what will happen? It won't throw any error, because everything is done inside the container, right? And that's the reason this time it build it fast, right? Because we are not passing huge files during the build context. The number of files are less in the context. That's the reason the build time reduce. That's the reason we have to learn about build context and dockerignore. I hope in this video you got to know about how does dockerignore works and what is the importance of build context. Now let's go to the repository that we have created. And here if I scroll down, you can see all the Dockerfile examples are already mentioned over here. Why we are using is everything is mentioned over here. Okay, you can ignore the compose example which are written over here, because compose is something that we are going to cover in the coming videos. But for now just focus on how does build context and dockerignore works. And if you face any issue, you can just go through the documentation. You will find ample amount of information that is required for you to get started with build context and dockerignore, right? So let us take the summary. What basically build context does, it sends the files to docker daemon and then it helps us to build the image. Secondly, what is dockerignore? It excludes the unnecessary file during the build time and it enhances the build time. Okay, third is what are the benefits. Basically it ensures that the faster builds are done, smaller images are there, and it provides better security, because here we are not compromising with .envs. And fourth is what is a bad practice, because what is the best practice? Always to use a .ignore file. So remember, a clean build context lead to efficient and secure Docker images. So yeah, that was all in this video. And again, if you want to learn more about build context and .ignore file, so search for build context in Docker image. So build context in Docker. And here they have a wonderful documentation, and here you can go through each and everything, because this will give you the clarity how does build context work, right? Here it gave you here it tells about three sort of build context: local file context, git repository, and remote tarballs, right? Right now we saw the example of local repository. Here you can explore git repository and remote tarballs, right? Yeah, so that was all in this video, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, keep learning and thank you very much.